all things entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs are people who are able to see an opportunity from a problem. They realize that they are the ones who have the talent, the skills, and the education to solve this problem for others. Entrepreneurship most readily creates value through creativity and innovation by changing the status quo. Entrepreneurs bring added value to our communities. They help create jobs, and yes, they create successful businesses. This program began through a strong workforce grant through the state of California. And Mr. Brian Miller, who is the principal at ROC and CTEC, had the initial vision to create Entrepreneurship Resource Centers for our youth here in Kern County. Our resource centers serve 12 to 17-year-olds, 7th through 12th graders, and helping them learn how to foster an entrepreneurial mindset and have the courage to act in entrepreneurial ways. It's extremely important to understand how money actually works in a business. And so we have classes that focus directly on business finances, learning what the difference is between revenue and expenses, and how do we get to that ever elusive net profit. That's the bottom line. That's one indicator of a successful business. So being able to work with numbers and math is vital to anyone who will be a successful entrepreneur.
What we do here, we do a lot of printing. So we have a 3D printer, we also have UV printing, and we have directed garment printing. A lot of our students here, before they print, they have to understand sizing, scaling, and measurements. It's very, very important, because if they don't get that right, their print does not come out correct. So let's go ahead and talk to our student over here. So you can see right now she's working with the scaling, and she's making sure she can fit it on her notebook that she's printing on. So right here we have a notebook, and we're printing on this, and she's gonna go ahead and get the scaling correct. She had the sizing, and she's gonna go ahead and print directly onto that notebook. We have a student here that actually just finished a print. So you wanna go ahead and take that out? Yeah. So our student just went ahead and printed directly onto that, and she had to make sure the sizing was correct for all that. And last but not least, we have the 3D printer over here. Yeah, so we have the 3D printer, we have a low poly thinker, and essentially you have to get the scaling correct, because if you don't get the scaling correct on a 3D printer, if you print above the print bed, it's not gonna come out correct, and if you also go too high, it won't come out correct. So you can say here in the ideation lab that we do the math.
My invention during my entrepreneur classes here at CTEC is an electric pool brush, more specifically an electric pool brush head, where it's run off of a DC circuit current. You can think about it like one giant electric toothbrush, except for your pool. So the best part of being an entrepreneur is really like everything, all the input you put in reflects on like the output. You can have an idea, but there's not an idea without obviously some math, some numbers involved, especially when accounting things like buying parts, or if you're running on like a time crunch and you don't really have time to buy things online and ship them back, and so you have to make measurements of the wires and things like that to see if everything will fit perfectly, and as long as the cost.
Taking any entrepreneurship mindset class teaches you that you can find an opportunity in day-to-day problems. So you may not learn to direct for yourself, but at the end of the day, you may work for a corporate business, and I believe taking the ERC classes teaches you how you can build a team and work with others, whether you're self-directed or you're under somebody else's name.